Hello and welcome to another episode of Crizzy Film. I'm Crizzy, or Criz, but only my homeboys call me Criz. Recently, I finally got around to watching Silent Night, Deadly Night, and I really liked it. I decided to continue my journey in the Silent Night franchise. There's 5 movies in it, and they all vary in status from absolute trash to so bad that they're good, and actually kind of fun and entertaining. The second one in particular is known as the so bad that it's good movie of the franchise, and it actually spawned the great Garbage Day that we all know and love. I had really low expectations going into this, and if you haven't seen it, I strongly suggest that you do the same thing. So this movie was released in 1987. In it, we focus on the younger brother of Billy from the original. This is Ricky. He was the crying baby in the car. He is in a mental institution where he's being interviewed by a psychiatrist. In his youth, we see that he was adopted by a really nice family and seemingly was on his way to living a pretty normal life. But as he gets older, it becomes very obvious that Ricky possesses the same kind of PTSD that his older brother Billy had, and he begins murdering people who he deems as naughty. For example, he runs over a man with a Jeep multiple times. He, I think, kills a loudmouth in a movie theater while he's on a date with his girlfriend. He electrocutes his girlfriend's ex with a car battery, and then he strangles her with the antenna of that car. Then he goes on a shooting spree in a neighborhood. He does the Garbage Day kill, and then he tries to commit suicide, fails, and is apprehended by the police, where he then ends up in the institution that we see him in now. And then he kills the psychiatrist that's interviewing him. He escapes the institution, kills a Santa Claus, takes his costume, and returns to the orphanage to try and kill the Mother Superior from the first movie. And he does, and he cuts her freaking head off. And then the cops show up, and they put a bunch of bullets in Ricky, seemingly kill him. Or do they? So this was, as everybody else says, very stupid, very fun. It was ridiculously cheesy and over the top. The lead of this movie, the guy who plays Ricky, I thought was just great. He has such a distinct look to him, and his acting was so exaggerated, and everything he did, it was just a lot of fun to watch. And with any great horror movie, you have to talk about the kills. Are they any good? And in this one, I think that a lot of them are so much fun. The Jeep scene, honestly, probably like the only point in the movie that got a little like kind of horror for me. A lot of this feels very comedic. I thought that this one was honestly pretty great. There was something just so raw about watching him constantly run over this guy, you know, forward and reverse and forward and reverse. And then the girl thanking him for doing it afterwards. I really thought that this was maybe the most compelling scene of the whole movie. We've got the, you know, ridiculously over-the-top loudmouth in the theater. I love this. This was just full-on 80s, campy, cheesy. It was very great, very funny. And then the car battery kill, probably the best of the movie. He attaches the lead of the car battery into this punk's mouth, and he gets electrocuted, and then his glasses shatter and explode. It's so good. And Garbage Day is still funny. I've seen it probably 100 times out of context. Now I have it in context. I love it. It's just so absurd. Unfortunately, though, I did have some pretty big issues with this movie. I had just seen the original one, like a day before I watched this one. And this movie reuses so much from the first one. It's insane. And when I say reuse, I mean it legitimately takes the footage from the first movie and puts it in this one. Probably 30 minutes or more of flashback scenes to the first, which is just showing the first movie. And they basically show the entire thing, really, kind of in a Cliff Notes version of it. And for me, having just watched the first one, I didn't really feel like watching it again in this one, and so I was really annoyed by that, and I fast forwarded through pretty much every time that it came up because it just kept going. It really distracted from the beginning of this movie a lot for me. I wasn't as invested because it just kept jumping back to the first one. If you've never seen the first one and you just watch this one, you're gonna get a full recap. You'll basically see a condensed version of the first movie and get this one. And that's probably ideal. If you're not interested in watching any of the other ones, that's probably great for you. But for me, I really liked the first one, and I had just watched it, and I really didn't feel like watching it again. That being said, I did really enjoy the actual parts of this movie that are its own, and the original moments in this. I think it's a lot of just great bad fun. I will say I was also kind of confused. I mean, I know that the plot of this movie is very stupid and the whole thing is really dumb, and but at the end, he goes to kill Mother Superior, and Mother Superior has some kind of like wound or deformity on her face, and I don't know why. Clearly, all of the characters in this, none of them are from the original movie, and I don't know if they put this weird disfigurement on her to like cover up that it wasn't the original actress, or I don't know what that was about, but it didn't make any sense, and it really confused me because it's just so glaring in your face, and it's never addressed. It was weird. It also felt like at the end that they really shoehorned in the actual Christmas theme of this. Everything that Ricky does in this movie, everybody that he kills up until the end, none of it has to do with Christmas. He's not dressed like Santa Claus in any of it. It's almost like they forgot that they were making a sequel to a Christmas-themed horror movie, and then at the end we're like, oh, right, we have to tie this back somehow. And so they put in all this Mother Superior stuff and dressing Ricky up like Santa and having him kill Mother Superior just as a way to make that connection. Also at the end there's this little dancing Santa Claus toy, which I actually have. There he is. He takes C batteries though, and I don't have any C batteries, so I can't like turn him on, but yeah, pretty cool. Overall, I would give Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 a 2 out of 5. Mostly for the reasons that I just listed above. I enjoyed the first one quite a bit, and going into this right after really messed up the experience for me, I'm sure. I can't really lie about that. But aside from that, I think that the absurdity and the campy acting and the action in this are just great. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed everything in it that wasn't a flashback to the first one. If you're interested in the movie and you haven't seen the first one, not interested in seeing it, absolutely watch this. You kind of get the best of both worlds, but I do highly recommend watching the first one. I think it's great. Otherwise, skip through all the flashback stuff and watch all the things that they actually made for this movie. But what do you think? Have you seen Silent Night, Deadly Night 2? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and as always, thank you for watching. Bye.